Alright. We're now live, I think. We should be going live. I'm gonna tweet this out. Bada bing. Bada boom. Okay. Yep, we're good. What's up, guys? There was no stream last week. There was supposed to be. And then I remembered it was a recap episode. So we just didn't do anything. But what's up, guys? We have relaxing Pokemon music. We have a new opening and a new ending. There's just like... Today was a good day for JoJo. Okay, the episode kind of looked a little weird sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. The art choices here and there, like the way stuff was drawn a little bit in this episode was a little wonky and funky. But it wasn't that bad. Nothing to really complain about. I just want to put that out there in case somebody else decides to bring it up. Look at that. Corner brought it up as soon as I said that. What's my ranking of the opening right now? That is a good question. Also, Salt Kage, who are you? And I don't care. What we're talking about JoJo. I don't care about Twitter shit and people getting roasted right now. I have listened to the opening like 3 times, Corner, before starting the stream. Visually, I think that this opening is great. Like, I'm so happy that they put in this cover into the opening. Them teasing Doppio is great. Them showing Risotto and his hair was great. I don't know if I like it more than Fighting Gold at the moment. I don't know where I would rank it yet. I gotta listen to it a couple more times, because I've literally only listened to it like 3 or 4 times since I just watched the episode. So I gotta think about that one. I think the way it looks, it's like one of the best looking openings for sure. It's just like, it's really good. I could say that. I can definitely say that I think it is really good. I saw people complaining about it today on Twitter before even watching the episode, saying that they didn't like the way the visuals looked or that they didn't like the song. I think they're smoking crack. I think they're crackheads, honestly. And they're just off of the goop. Because this opening was eye candy. It had some nice foreshadowing. The very beginning of the opening is the ending of the manga. And I'm a fan of that. I thought that was like cool as shit. And then the way that it ends with the arrow, dude, like the opening is really nice. And I mainly wanted to talk about the opening and the ending, like in terms of the way that they look. The ending did a thing that I liked a lot, and I pointed it out on Twitter a little bit ago before I started streaming, just because I wanted to throw it out there. But like, damn, dude, the opening and the ending are great. I don't get how people could say that they're bad or like not good enough or something. People are dumb. People are dumb. I don't know. They showed Spice Girl for a little bit, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, given, I know some people are going to be like, oh, there's too many spoilers in the opening or the ending or that, but every single JoJo opening is chock full of spoilers for like the entire part. Like part 1's opening literally spoils the entirety of part 1. Part 2's opening spoils part 2. Part 3's opening spoil part, like every single opening has, you know, spoilers out the ass. Like they're full of spoilers. And I think that since it just came out today, people are gonna have to take a while to be like, oh wow, this is great. Because when Fighting Gold came out, everybody loved it immediately, but it was the only part 5 opening we had. It was the first one, so most people were gonna like it no matter what, because it was what we got and there was nothing else to get. So that's what I think about that. But what is it called? Uragiri Mono no Requiem? That's a sick ass opening. It's a really sick opening. I'm a fan of it. The song itself is a banger. I love the way it sounds. And it just looks really nice, dude. Like, it's so visually appealing. I don't know how people could say that the opening didn't look good. They're smoking crack. People hated Fighting Gold. I saw a couple people say that Fighting Gold was bad, and I just blocked them. And I have not seen slander for it since. So, if I ever see anybody else slandering Fighting Gold, that's an instant block. Y'all know how it is. Just not dealing with that slander bullshit. But the episode was really good too, by the way, even though like some of the art here and there was kind of wonky, like I mentioned a little bit before ago. I thought the episode was great. They somehow made Clash look really cute right here, and then they made it look really freaky like right after, which is great. I love that, but they made it look so cute. This tiny little shark. And no more horny anthem, but this new ending visually is like so much better than the old one we had. Given we had 2 versions of the last ending, which is great. I'm happy that they changed it from the ending visuals that they had at first. They were like really bland, and then they changed it. We had the whole thing with the stone mural. Now we have this stone pillar, and it's like, it's so sick. It is so sick. And I do hope that they start showing more and more stands on the pillar for the ending as the part goes on. I think they might. But I don't know. That's just like wishful thinking. Love the fact that this fight is just Jaws and Liar. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I was thrown off at the fact that like I heard Enigma and I'm like, oh, this is the new ending. Because I didn't know there was a new ending at first. I just knew that there was going to be a new opening. I saw people saying, you know, the new opening is today. And for a while now, we've known that there was going to be a new opening. But I didn't know there was a new ending. And then I hear Enigma, and I'm like, oh, shit. And it was, it's fucking, whatchamacallit? Modern Crusaders. It was just like, it was so good. That ending is gorgeous. It's delicious. But real talk, the episode. I don't care too much about this fight, but I do like what they're doing with the anime. They made this episode pretty goofy and all over the place. It's got the very quote-unquote bizarre feeling of JoJo in it, where they're just doing wacky, goofy, dumb shit. Right here, you can see Talking Head. Clash looked great. I just love the way that they like animated Narancia in this episode. He's so like expressive, even though the art looks a little weird. Narancia is like super expressive, and I thought this was really funny. Because Abachio's calling him out for peeing in front of him. But the funny thing about that is the first thing Abachio does when he's introduced is pee and try to make Giorno drink his pee. So, character development right there. Very big character development on Abachio's part. But I don't really care too much for Tijano and Squalo. As characters, like, there's just like, they're whatever to me. Their stands, when paired together like this, are stupid broken. You know, like, it's a really good combo. If you were using this just to take off one person at a time, you would have no problem. But unfortunately for them, they're fighting against a group of people that are pretty smart, for the most part. And you're up against Giorno, and Giorno's a genius. So, you think that the Special Guard isn't anywhere near as threatening as the Squadra? What's his face? Seko and Chocolata are pretty like crazy. With Oasis and Green Day, those stands are pretty nuts. B.I.G. is pretty cool too, cause it's like B.I.G. just has like a really weird it has a really weird like condition to it. Like Carne has to die, and after Carne dies, then it like activates. And that fight is pretty cool. La Squadra's, the thing with La Squadra is like they have really good stand abilities too. I mean, all of the villains got outplayed at the end of the day, but I don't know, the higher guard, like Squall and Tijano at least in particular, they're pretty damn strong. Especially since they're like paired up. Their stands work hand in hand with each other to pretty efficiently get rid of things. You have a small shark that can just travel through any liquid extremely fast. And then you have a stand that attaches to your tongue that controls your movements and your speech, and it makes you lie and say the opposite of what you want to say. And when you put those together in the situations that they're in, it's pretty great. But the episode starting off with them just beating the shit out of the wrong guy because they assumed that he was a bad guy was great. Like, Abachio was minding his business, drinking wine, and then the next thing you know, Abachio starts beating the shit out of the guy, and he joins in too. I always thought that was really funny of them. They're definitely some goons. You choose to believe Notorious B.I.G. is similar to Limp Bizkit and doesn't just activate. Well, Carne dies, and then we see the stand, so, like, it's kind of just, you know, how it works. It's just what we see. That's just what we take away from it. By the way, is the background music too loud? I don't know how loud it is on, like, playback end. I have it pretty low, but I don't think it's too loud. It doesn't do anything, though. Like, he dies, and then they get on the plane, and B.I.G. just goes ham. But B.I.G. itself isn't necessarily, like... It's not weak, but it's not busted. I want to say it's in, like, a middle ground. How do I think they're going to do the voices? I think that... What I imagine the Requiem stand voices is going to be is, like, some, like... really strong echoed shit. That's my guess. I think that they're gonna like echo it, and it's gonna be like some super powerful sounding, like almighty omnipotent voice, because they have to make it sound kind of sentient since the Requiem stands just like do their own thing, and that's what I'm assuming they'll do. And I'm assuming they'll do the same thing for a GER also. Oh, what's up, Peps? That's my guess on the whole Requiem thing. I thought they were going to show Polnareff in the opening also. Let me bring that up. I was expecting it. I was waiting for it. And then they didn't. Maybe they'll add him in later after he's, like, introduced. I wonder if we will see King... Like, I wonder how they're going to have King Crimson skip this opening. That's what I can't wait to see. It's going to be sick. It is kind of cool that they didn't show Polnareff, I guess, because, like, surprise for people. Like, it'll be a nice surprise for people that haven't read the manga, people that haven't gotten spoiled yet, at some point. But I would have liked to see it, just to see Polnareff already, you know? Like, I just want to see my boy. I can't wait to see him. I love his Part 5 design. I think it's pretty cool. My boy's been through some stuff, and he's all messed up. He's got the wheelchair. He's got the mechanical body parts, the leg. That's what I was saying, Roman. Like, Polnareff really wouldn't be too much of a spoiler. Like, they already spoil so much more shit in the opening. And in the openings. So, like, I don't see why they couldn't. I don't think they would ever care about something like that. It just would have been cool to see it happen. I thought they were going to do it. That's what I was expecting and waiting to see. But for the episode, you know, the episode is pretty great overall. Like it always is. The sound design in this one is really nice, with Narancia making really weird sounds and just like murmuring and shit because he can't talk, and then them using like really weird ambiance, just with like Clash and Talking Head, or with Clash in particular, because Clash is the one that's attacking. But like the way that they just have really creepy and eerie sounds play when Clash was like gonna come out, it's like some Jaws shit, and that's really good. I appreciate that ambiance. It's really nice. I hope they use the later parts of the opening they didn't use in the current showing of it, since it has. Oh yeah, because the full is out. I gotta listen to the full version of it. Do a different ending? Well, they always do a different opening. Like, there's always a different opening for the, like, last episode. They did it with part 3 and they did it with part 4, so of course they're going to do it with part 5. They're just going to have him skip the opening. He's going to, like, skip part of the song, and, like, the screen is going to turn red, and it's going to go into, like, space shit, and it's going to, like, glitch away. Yeah, there was some glitching in the ending. It's pretty sick. But the ending itself, man, yo, can we talk about this ending? Visually, it's really good. Like, extremely good. I am a fan of it. But the thing with that, Elson, is that they do the special openings. They do the special openings with the effect after you already know the ability. Like, they didn't show Dio, like, Dio didn't time stop the opening with the world until he had already used the world in the anime. So I don't get where you're going with it. Like, I don't get where you're going with it. Because he did the same thing with Killer Queen. Killer Queen didn't do Bites the Dust in the opening until he already used Bites the Dust. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They always do it. It's like the very last episode of the anime they do it. And yes, Boom Boom, we know. And that's what I wanted to get at, actually, about the ending. The way that they have these pillars going out is the way that we have these pillars going out is really great. Also, Wigshot, you're saying extremely obvious shit in chat, trying to spoil. And you're talking to people that have already read the manga, so I don't know. I don't know what you're going with this. I'm gonna talk about spoilers anyways, so I don't get where you're going with this. I didn't say anything about Mista dying. Of course he doesn't die. I'm not stupid. Yeah, I was surprised that they changed the ending too, Max. I was extremely surprised at the fact that they changed the ending. I wasn't expecting it. If Doppio's main color is purple, it'll kind of bother me unless the boss's main color is also purple. I don't mind it. I like purple Doppio. It looks really good. I mean, I talk about spoilers all the time and stuff like this, and in videos, I always put a spoiler warning. I'm like, look, if I accidentally talk about a spoiler at some point, or say anything, I expect people to come to these and know that, you know, there's going to be spoilers. I talk about it all the time. Yeah, when they called it Crush instead of Clash, it was actually kind of funny. Just because of the context. He was like, "Oh, he was like, I had to use my crush to attack them." And it was just like, it was kind of funny, because it's just Squalo holding on to Giano. Oh yeah, Crush is literally like Clash is literally crushing Narancia bit by bit. When it's going after his tongue and shit like that, and it like cuts off a piece of his tongue. It's trying to crush you. It's trying to eat you. See, I get that, Wig. But shut up. BIG does not have an English name yet. They're gonna make it Evil Large. That is what I want it to be. That is my prediction. It is a very stupid prediction, but Evil Large? That's great. Crush is one of the best censored names because of how Japanese pronounce. Yeah, Kurash. Crush. Crash. Clash. Exactly. Infamous wide. Infamous bad. Menacing huge. It's going to be Evil Large. I think that's what it should be. Evil Large. I do hope that they point out that Narancia likes Snoop Dogg and Tupac at some point in the anime. They're never going to do that. But in the manga, it specifies on a Narancia character page that he likes Tupac and Snoop Dogg's music. And Narancia's favorite manga is also Fist of the North Star. Narancia is a cultured-ass nigga. I love Narancia. Anybody that likes Fist of the North Star is cultured. Fist of the North Star is the shit. So Narancia reads good comic books. And it's kind of funny to have a shonen character reading another shonen manga. I think that's great. But no, BIG does not have a name yet. BIG will get its name when we get to that episode. It's going to be great. And I can't wait. And back to the ending. What I wanted to talk about the ending was, it starts off with like the pillar. And the pillar kind of just like goes up. And it starts off at the very bottom with the very first stand that they fight. With Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead. Fucking Grateful Dead. Black Sabbath. And it makes its way up. And it just like shows off all of the stands in order that they beat them in. And I thought that was really cool. And the more it kept going up, I was like, okay, they're doing something with this, with the pillar and the way that they were showing it. And then they have the arrows at the top with Clash and Talking Head at the top of that part of the pillar. And then there's like a space. And then the next part of the pillar has Purple Haze, Moody Blues, excuse me, and then Aerosmith. And then there was Sticky Fingers and King Crimson fighting with Sex Pistols and Gold Experience at the very top. So if you guys know, if you guys realize, going from the bottom up, you know, they're showing off all the stands they beat. Cool. The people that they're going to beat, rather, this current fight is the last set of stands that are on the bottom of that pillar. And then they have Fugo as the first one out. Abacho and Narancia are there. And then it's Bruno fighting the boss with Giorno and like Mista at the top. But it's all just the stands. It's not the people at all. Just their stands. I don't know if they're going to add to this and put more of the enemy stands on there. They keep Trish out, which is great. And I just like that this is like a thing. Like, David Pro with the foreshadowing, man. That shit, I saw it and I immediately like recognized that. And I was like, damn. And I got sad a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was a little upset. Just a little upset. What's up? But like, I thought that was really dope. Like, I think that the ending visually is really appealing. And also the fact that we finally get to see like La Squadra in the opening and the ending now, where they weren't really there before, is kind of nice. Green Day's copyright name is Green Tea. Dude, if we get Green Tea or something like that of the sorts, that'll be pretty damn good for jokes. Is it Green Tea? Did they localize it in like All-Star Battle or something? Because I Green Tea. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Green Tea. Okay. Thank you, Viz. Thank you, Shueisha. Actually, I don't know if it's Viz or Shueisha that's in charge of changing the names for localization. Well, because Shueisha's the publisher, so it's probably Shueisha. Or some of the editors at Viz change it. But that's pretty good. Nah, Green Tea from Green Day? It's better than Zipperman. Zipperman is, like, never gonna get topped. Like, you go from Sticky Fingers to Zipperman. It's, like, literally what it is, but it's just funny. Yes, you did, piece of trash. Narancia peed. He took a fat piss. And everybody watched it. This new opening, like, look at this shit. And it, like, it starts off all, like, green and, like, bronzed out. And then it goes up to glorious gold and it stops at gold experience. And it's doing the pose. That is so sick, man. That is so sick. Like, look at this shot, though, man. This shit. This is that good shit. I'm so happy with this new opening and ending. Like, anybody that doesn't like these, honestly, you are, I don't know, a weird person with really weird taste. First person to leave after Narancia peed was Apache. Even though he's the first guy to pee in front of everybody that we see. Cause Avdol and Polnareff pee on that one dude in part 3. I'm not gonna talk about pee, that's weird. But that was the thing. That shit was pretty funny. But yeah, I thought it was ironic that Abacha was complaining. He's like, dude, that's gross. What are you doing? When the first thing he does is pee in a cup and try to give it to Giorno. If you don't like spoiler intros, Johnny, then I don't know. You don't like 90% of anime intros because 90% of anime intros have spoilers in them. They have to show what's going on, show you, present to you what you're getting into. That's why they have spoilers in it. Yeah, Sticky Fingers and King Crimson are squaring off. That's an attack. Excuse me. Oh yeah, of course they're not Spoilers when you don't know anything. Nothing is a spoiler if you have no context. Like, if somebody shows me a random picture of, I don't know, a random ass character in a series that I've never heard of, and the character's like getting stabbed or something to like death, then it's like, it means nothing to me, you know? It's not really like a spoiler. No, yeah, literally every JoJo opening is spoilers out the ass. I say it all the time whenever we talk about stuff like that. It's another reason why whenever I do these like streams, I'm always like, you know, I try to not say too much for anime onlys that watch it and like read the chat at a later time. But it's unavoidable. You're gonna find out eventually, especially if you're on the internet. If you want to duck spoilers for something, just get off of the computer. Do not go on YouTube. Do not go on Google. Never ever, when you are getting into something, you're playing a game or like reading a manga or watching a show, never look up character names until you're done. You could be like, I don't know, you could Google Giorno Giovanna and then like the first search result will say Giorno Giovanna death, for example. It doesn't, because he's fine. He doesn't die. But stuff like that pops up. Like, you could be like, Goku Dragon Ball Z, and then it'd be like, Goku Dragon Ball Z dies. It's like the first thing, so it's like, ah. Yeah, a lot of anime onlys do get spoiled by manga readers saying that the opening spoils stuff and pointing stuff like that out. It happens. It is ironic. But it's what you should expect, because us to realize, oh look, this is foreshadowing or this is teasing when this happens in the manga. Like, we want to talk about that stuff too, you know? Like, I saw the ending and I like immediately had to make a post. I'm like, dude, like, this is great. I want to talk about this. I don't think spoilers can ruin the enjoyment of a story depending on when you get the spoiler and what it is. So, like, I got spoiled on the ending of part 5 when I started the manga because my friend is a dickhead, to put it very well how it is. Like, that's all it is. My friend spoiled me because he thought it would be funny, and he thought I would forget about it. And it was like it was like the ending on how the boss like loses and stuff, and like the ending fight. He spoiled it, and I was pissed as shit because when I read part 5, I never forgot about that spoiler, and I knew it was gonna happen. So it was just like, all right, now I gotta read up until I get to that point, and then anything else that happens after that is new, which wasn't that much. So that kind of was upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, but like, it depends. It depends. Cause I hate when, like, if I'm about to get to a point in a game and I'm like, oh, I'm at this boss fight, and somebody's like, oh, you haven't seen, and then they give you a spoiler on the very next thing that happens, and it's like, bro, like, really, you know? Like, that's just like dumb. That's weird to me. That's mad stupid. Ah, rip corner. Rip. It's gonna be a while for Metallica. Like, 6 episodes? 7 episodes? Yeah, JoJo fans. And I say JoJo fans just like generalizing a group of people. Not you guys. Not me. Because I always give a spoiler warning. Like, people know, like, I talk about spoilers for this series. It's all I talk about on my channel, really. Aside from a couple other things. So I'm always going to talk about JoJo spoilers. But a lot of people out there are just like, they're just dickheads and they just go out of their way to purposely spoil people. They're minding their business and trying to enjoy it at their own pace. I don't get people that are like that. It's really stupid. It's like, oh yeah, you really showed him, huh? You went and told him what happens when he's making his way there because he might have said something stupid or didn't know what he was talking about. Like, unless you say some really absurd shit that warrants people to want to spoil you because you're just being stupid and dumb, and you're just like baiting for attention, then I think in that scenario it's kind of funny, because it's like, oh, you're talking all this smack and being like an idiot about something, and then people are just gonna tell you what actually happens because you just want to be stupid about it. I try to not like spoil too much for things, but like if I post stuff on Twitter and people are like, oh, you spoiled me, it's like I post JoJo stuff. Like, you go to my Twitter and you're gonna see my YouTube link and my Twitch link in my bio, like right there on my profile as soon as you click on it. And then, like, my pin tweet says, you know, like, I make, like, JoJo manga and, like, anime content. Like, I talk about video games and stuff. And I have a gif of Dio there with, like, my links and shit. So, like, if you go to my Twitter profile, you're immediately gonna, like, get the gist of what I talk about. And that's that. So I don't get why people would be upset. Yeah, Medi has said that before. And I agree. I think it's funny sometimes to be like, oh, this shit's, like, 30 years old. Look, I turned 20 at the end of the month. In 15 days, I am 20 years old. If this manga came out 20 years ago, I was just being born. I'm not gonna read fucking Italian mafia punch ghost comic books when I'm coming out the womb. Next part, they'll name episodes like The Report Dies Bravely. My favorite spoiler coming from like an anime like that is like Dragon Ball Z episode like 4 or like episode 3. It's like, what happens next time on the next episode? And it's like doing the episode preview and it's like, next time Goku dies. That's great. So great. Because the whole entire time that they're doing the episode preview, it's like the build up, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. That scared the shit out of me. I always forget. That sound is so loud. Piece of trash. Thank you for subscribing. And that always catches me off guard. God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but like that thing like spoils it. But you know, people are just like dumb, and they forget that most of us weren't even born. We're reading these things back then. And yes, JoJo is from the 80s. It was coming out at the same time as Fist of the North Star and Dragon Ball. Those are all going on in like the late 80s. It's pretty great. The JoJo community is full of toxic people and idiots and like gross shit. Like, I'm not even trying to get into that. I've gone into it before and like gone over my feelings on it, but I just think that it's like that in like any fandom, but I see a lot of stupid shit on like our end of the JoJo community. Is like some of the people that are on Twitter now, especially now, they're just so annoying, man. Like, no disrespect, well, a little bit of disrespect maybe. And I'm not like name dropping anybody or like talking about anybody specifically. People are just like, they just say stupid shit. They say annoying shit. They're like constantly trying to shill how JoJo is so much better than every other manga ever out there. Every 2 seconds, like that's not gonna make people want to read it. If you're constantly coming to me every 2 seconds whenever I'm talking about anything, I could be like, oh, I just woke up, good morning, and then somebody's just like, oh my god, JoJo is better than waking up in the morning. Go read JoJo, you idiot. Like, if somebody does some shit like that to me constantly, I'm not gonna want to read it. It's just gonna turn me away from it. So people like that are just annoying. And yeah, people, the bad people usually are the loudest in the community, because it's what most people pay attention to. And yeah, Metallica is just metallic. It's really good. Thankfully, they didn't have to really change much. Yes, people are very whack. Very, very, very whack corner. It'd be like that. Dude, when I came out the womb, I had already read 100 years worth of Shonen Jump manga, and Shonen Jump hasn't even been out that long. That's just how much I read in that time span of coming out of the womb. I wish the JoJo community was nice and accepting. These niggas hate me. Niggas hate me on here, man. They hate me for having different opinions. They hate me for having opinions that I back up because they don't even have, like, anything to back up their statements. They'll have a quote-unquote hot take and just say something controversial just for the hell of it instead of actually having a discussion about things. So I'm sure, like, 90% of these niggas hate me. And I'm fine with that. I really don't care. Like, I get along with the people that watch my videos, right? Y'all are cool. I like y'all. I get along with Medi. I get along with Exports. I have known Caleb since 2012. And, yeah. And Psychic, whenever Psychic pops up, he's been on Discord recently. I haven't seen him on Twitter, but, like, Psychic is still the homie. You know? Don't have any problems with these people. They're all great. I feel that trash, but now with the anime, more people are being more vocal about things. But yeah, but it'd be like that. If you were in 2nd grade in 2012, how old are you? Holy shit. What the hell? I was 13. Yeah, I've known Caleb for a long time. He's almost at 100k subscribers. I'm so happy for him. That's really cool to see a friend get so far, you know? That's dope to me. I'm slacking. I gotta catch up. But that episode was stupid good. It was really good. I'm a fan of it. I don't really care too much for the fight. But the sound direction, the use of stills here and there, like that one of Narancia crying with Clash on his tears, and them having the exclamation points and stuff like that. Like, this episode was, like, stylized, even though the art was kind of wonky. It was very nice. Squall and Tiziano both have really good voices. The new opening is amazing. The new ending is amazing. Just overall satisfied, like we always are. But that new opening, man, that new opening is a banger. And that new ending is just, like, visually a masterpiece in the foreshadowing department. I really like what they did with that. I'm a big time fan of it. Yeah, Part 5 does have a good variety of duo enemies. Part 5 just has really good stand variety in general when it comes to the guys that they fight. Except for the fact that Mist is always put into situations where the guys can just beat his ass. Because he's like, I've got a gun. And then the guys are like, oh, fuck your gun. And my stand says no to bullets. And then he's like, bro. But yeah, I think that's it for the stream. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah, this relaxing Pokemon music compilation. It's pretty damn good. Because I didn't know what to do for background music. And I was like, I can just put this on. So that's what we did. Always wanted a huge stand fight, a 3v3. There's part 6. And I can tell you it does not end in a good way at all. It does not end in a good way at all. It was not a fun time whatsoever. Very bad time, actually. But yeah. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say about this episode. Really good episode. I hope you guys had a really great Friday. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream and stuff. You know, that always means a lot to me. And these voices are great. New opening and ending are great. JoJo is great. They're doing really good things with everything. I'm a big fan of this shit. And I like to see it happen and like to see it just be good and do good. So, hope you guys enjoy your night. Yeah, I've been streaming for about like 40 minutes. And I'm kind of waiting for somebody to get home. I've got to like pay attention and, you know, go get the door and stuff, so I didn't want to take too long, but thank you guys so much for coming through to the stream. Really nice, really nice. I don't know, you guys can follow me on Twitter for watching this later time, or if you don't follow me already, at FreyKugel. Links in the description. You can join the Discord. You know, you can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but those things are there if you want to. that being said, and everybody's been more active in the Discord now too, which is pretty great. Really appreciating that, because we're getting things to be more active, talking in there more and shit like that. So, thank you guys so much for coming through. And I will see you guys next week with more videos and streams and stuff like that. So, yeah. Bye, guys.